My name is Juliet Anderson. I'm 29. 14 days before my wedding, my father looked my fiancé, Ben, in the eyes over pot roast and said, "She's a liar, always has been. She had a bastard child at 18 and tried to trap a man with it." My mother leaned in, venom in her voice, and hissed, "Don't let this trap you too. She abandoned her own daughter like trash. She's rotten to the core." I sat there silent while the two people who were supposed to love me tore my soul apart in front of the man I loved. I didn't defend myself. I didn't cry. I didn't run, because what my parents didn't know was that Ben had already found her. He'd spent the last 6 months quietly undoing everything they destroyed, and they had no idea she was walking into our rehearsal dinner. That night, everything they tried to bury came back to life, and everything they thought they controlled completely shattered. This is the story of how my own parents tried to destroy my life and how the daughter they forced me to give away came back to save it. Go back 3 years earlier, to a hospital corridor when I saw him again for the first time in 8 years. December 20th, 2024. Ben proposed on the rooftop of his Cambridge apartment. Freezing air, the Charles River-like glass, candles in mason jars because he knew I'd think it was cheesy and love it anyway. He said, "I lost 8 years with you. I don't want to lose 8 more days." I said yes before he finished. The ring was vintage sapphire, his grandmother's. "Family heirloom for the family we're building," he said. I should have known my parents would find a way to poison it. We set the wedding for March 29th, 2026. Old South Church, the Fairmont Copley. I sent 128 invitations. My mother called the next day. "White roses are so common, Juliet. What will the church ladies think?" I picked white roses because they were simple, because I wanted the day about Ben and me, not Patricia Anderson's church friends. I just said, "I like white roses, Mom." She sighed, like I'd personally disappointed her. "Well, it's your wedding." She made it sound like a threat. Ben's family was different. His mother hugged me for a full minute. His father said, "You picked a good one, son." His sister Carolyn told me, "He was lost without you." I was lost too. I handled most of the planning alone. My mother criticized every choice. I kept a seating chart and revised it 20 times. Final version, table 8, near the exit, for my parents. I told myself it was normal mother-daughter tension. I was wrong. Early March, my best friend Claire, a nurse in pediatrics, cornered me. "Your mom's been asking weird questions. How long have you and Ben been together? Does Ben know your history?" My stomach dropped. "She doesn't know about Lily. She can't." Claire said, "Maybe you should tell her before she finds out another way." I said, "There's nothing to find. Closed adoption means closed." 2 days later, my mother called. "We need to talk about the wedding, and about Benjamin. Why don't you both come to dinner? Saturday, 6 or pot roast." It wasn't a request. I said yes to avoid weeks of passive-aggressive comments. Ben just put his hand on my shoulder and said, "We'll go together." I hung up feeling like I was walking toward a trap I could see but couldn't avoid. To understand that dinner, you need to understand what they were hiding. Fall 2013. I was 16, a junior. Ben was 18, a senior. We met in the library. He was sketching a house with a wraparound porch. "Future project," he said. "When I have a family." He gave me that sketch on my 17th birthday. I still have it. We dated 2 years. He went to MIT for architecture. I planned pre-med at Boston College. My mother barely tolerated him. "He's too old for you." We were careful. We thought we were. December 2016. I was 18, a freshman at BC, missed my period. 2 lines. I should have told Ben first, but I was scared, so I told my mother. Crying, I said, "Mom, I'm pregnant. I don't know what to do." She didn't hug me, just said quietly, "You're going to fix this." I said, "I'm not getting an abortion." Her face went cold. "Then we'll handle it another way." That's when they took control. January 2017, they pulled me out of Boston College, said I was on medical leave. 8 months locked in their Wellesley house, technically homeschooled. They cut off Ben, used my email to send him, "I think we should break up. This isn't working." He called. My mother answered. told him I needed space. He tried for 2 weeks, then stopped. I wanted to run every day. I had no money, nowhere to go. My father said, "If you contact him, we cut you off. No college, no car, no phone." So I stayed, and I let them plan my daughter's disappearance. August 13th, 2017, 3:42 a.m. or Newton Wellesley Hospital. Labor took 16 hours. My parents were there. So was the adoption social worker with a clipboard and a sympathetic smile that didn't reach her eyes. I gave birth to a girl, 6lb 8 Oz, dark hair, perfect. I asked to hold her. My mother said, "It's better if you don't. Clean break." The social worker nodded. "It's easier this way." But a young nurse looked at me, then at the baby, and said, "I can give you a couple minutes." She placed my daughter on my chest. 90 seconds. I memorized the weight, the warmth, the tiny crescent moon birthmark on her left shoulder. I whispered, "I'm so sorry." Then my mother said, "That's enough." The nurse took her away. I sobbed. "What's her name? Please just tell me her name." The social worker said, "The adoptive family will name her." They offered a sedative. I said yes. When I woke up 6 hours later, she was gone. The next day, I signed the relinquishment papers, closed adoption, no contact. My mother stood over me. "You'll thank us when you're older." I locked myself in my room for 3 weeks. Depression hit like a freight train. My mother converted the nursery into a guest room within a week. "No point dwelling," she said. I started therapy that October. My therapist said, "You experienced a traumatic loss. Grief doesn't have a timeline." I asked, "But I chose this, didn't I?" She looked at me a long time. "Did you?" Every August 13th for 8 years, I called in sick, drove to the hospital parking lot, sat in the spot where my parents parked that night, and counted the years. First birthday, second, fifth. "You're 5 today. Do you like kindergarten?" No one answered. In my closet, I kept a box with 8 birthday cards, one for each year, sealed, never sent. In 2018, I switched to nursing school at Simmons. I couldn't save my daughter. Maybe I could save someone else's. Graduated 2021, started at Children's Hospital Boston. Every baby I held was a reminder. I kept minimal contact with my parents, holidays only. We never talked about what happened. I thought about her every day. While I grieved, Ben finished MIT in 2020, started an architecture firm. He dated, nothing stuck. "Every relationship felt like replacing you," he told me later. In his sketchbooks from 2018 are pages of house designs, all with a nursery facing east, labeled "For Morning Light." In 2022, his firm got the contract to design the new pediatric wing at Children's. March 15th, 2023. I was doing rounds. An administrator walked in with the architect to measure the space. He turned around. 8 years. We made eye contact. Time stopped. "Juliet Anderson, this is Benjamin Foster," Ben said. "Actually, we know each other." An hour later, we sat in the cafeteria. 2 coffees gone cold, 3 hours of talking. "I never stopped thinking about you," he said, "and I never understood why you left." I told him the truth, most of it. My parents forced us apart. I was pregnant. I had a daughter, August 2017, given up for adoption. What I didn't tell him, what I believed, was that the baby wasn't his. We'd broken up in January. I thought maybe I got pregnant after, a rebound. Trauma doesn't make sense. I was wrong. We started dating again, slow, careful. He asked about my daughter. "Do you know where she is?" "Closed adoption." "Would you want to find her?" "Every single day. But I don't have the right." In November 2023, Ben started coming to therapy with me. Couples counseling. He listened, asked questions, took notes. I thought he was trying to understand me. I didn't realize he was building a plan. December 20th, 2024, the proposal. That night I told him, "There's something else. I got pregnant right around when we broke up. I've always assumed it was someone after you. I don't remember clearly. I should have told you before you proposed." Ben went quiet. Then, "Is there any chance it could be mine?" "I don't know, maybe. The timeline overlaps." His face changed. Not anger, determination. If she's mine, if our daughter is out there, I need to know. I told him to let it go. 3 weeks later, he ordered a 23andMe kit, January 2025. Ancestry, he said. Want to know if I'm actually Scottish? Results in February. No close matches. He stared at the screen. Nothing, I said. I told you she's probably not even in the system. DNA databases update constantly. August 2025. A couple in Brooklyn, Jennifer and Michael Walsh, had a conversation about their 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Jennifer's a pediatrician. Michael teaches history. They adopted Lily as a newborn, always open with her. At a checkup, the doctor asked about cardiac history. Jennifer said, unknown, she's adopted. The doctor suggested a genetic test. They ordered 23andMe. Lily spit in the tube. September 3rd, 2025. Results flagged a match. Close family match. Benjamin Foster, possible father. At the same time, Ben's phone buzzed. You have a new close family match. Lily W., age 8, Massachusetts. He stared at it for an hour. It had to be her. But he didn't tell me immediately. He hired a private investigator, former Boston PD. The PI found Jennifer Walsh, 43, pediatrician, Michael Walsh, 45, teacher, dependent daughter, age 8. Brookline Elementary, class photo, 2nd grade, front row, purple shirt, dark curls. Ben said, the photo showed a little girl with dark curls and my smile and your eyes. I knew beyond doubt she was ours. October 2025. Ben hired family law attorney Helen Strickland. Not to challenge the adoption, to request contact. Massachusetts allows birth parent contact if adoptive parents consent. Helen sent a letter to the Walshes. 3 weeks, no response. Then Jennifer called. We've always wanted Lily to know her birth parents. We were told the birth mother wanted no contact. We had no idea you were looking. I went cold. My parents lied. Jennifer said, Lily asks about her birth mother every year on her birthday. We'd be honored to arrange a meeting. February 14th, 2026, 2 p.m., Victorian in Brooklyn, blue with flower boxes. Jennifer, Michael, and therapist Dr. Reeves. Then Lily walked in, white dress, dark curls. Are you Juliet? Not Mom, just Juliet. I nodded. I've been waiting to meet you. She held a photo album. Lily's life. I made this so you can see what you missed. Baby photos, kindergarten, violin recital. She asked, did you want to keep me? Yes, more than anything. But I was 18, and your biological grandparents said I couldn't. Then why didn't you come find me? Ben said, because we didn't know how until now. So you're like, my original parents? Yes. Cool. Can I show you my room? Sky blue walls, stars on the ceiling, violin, and a drawing of a family, Mom Jennifer, Dad Michael, me in the middle, and 2 shadows labeled with question marks. I drew that last year. I didn't know what you looked like, but now I can finish it. She added features to the shadows, labeled us Juliet and Ben. Not Mom and Dad yet. That was okay. After Lily went to practice violin, Jennifer said, we're not threatened. Lily is lucky to have 4 parents who love her. We agreed. Weekly visits, every other weekend. Before we left, Lily made us pinky promise to come back. Driving home, I felt lighter than I had in 8 years. But I remembered, my parents still had no idea. Our wedding was 6 weeks away. We visited Lily 3 times. By the 3rd, she hugged me goodbye. March 7th, she asked, you're getting married. Can I come? Ben had the invitation in his pocket. That night, we debated telling my parents. Ben said, we should protect Lily from their reaction. I agreed. Mistake. February 28th, 2026. My mother was driving through Brooklyn, saw Ben holding hands with a little girl who looked exactly like me at 8, followed them, wrote down the address. By Saturday, she knew everything. March 1st, 9 a.m., loud knocking. My parents pushed into my apartment. We need to talk about the child. What child? Don't lie. We saw Benjamin with her. You found her after we told you the adoption was final. I said. You told me a lot of things that weren't true. My mother. We gave you a chance to move on. This is how you repay us? I gripped my mug until it cracked. Get out. My father. If you don't end this, we'll tell Benjamin the truth about you. I said, "He already knows." She laughed. "Does he know you have no idea who the father is?" The lie came easy. I said, "Ben is the father. 23andMe proved it." Her face went white. "My father, even if true, that child is gone, legally adopted." I said, "We're not trying to take her. We're trying to be part of her life, something you prevented for 8 years." My mother, "If you pursue this, you'll destroy your relationship with us." I said, "Good." They left. I blocked their number March 13th. That's when they decided to go nuclear, tell Ben, assuming he didn't know. March 8th, a formal dinner invitation arrived, sent weeks earlier. Now it was their stage. I knew it was a trap. Ben said, "Let them try. I've got everything documented." I asked, "What if they have proof I don't know about?" He opened a folder on his phone labeled Lily, 23andMe results, emails with the Walshes, therapist notes, photos, legal timeline. Then we'll disprove it together. March 14th, 5:55 p.m. The Anderson house. Good china, pot roast, 4-place settings. The 4th chair stayed empty. My father said grace about honesty in marriage. Then, as I lifted my fork, he looked at Ben. "There's something you need to know about Juliet before you marry her. She had a baby 8 years ago, gave it up for adoption, and never told you." Ben set down his fork, calm. "I know." My mother blinked. "You know?" "Yes, Juliet told me over a year ago." My father, "Did she tell you she has no idea who the father is? That she was running around with multiple men and the pregnancy could have been anyone's?" My mother, "Sit down, Juliet. The adults are talking." I sat. Ben's hand covered mine. My father, "She tried to trap some other man with that bastard baby. When he refused to marry her, she gave it away like garbage." Ben looked him in the eye. "Actually, I know exactly who the father is. And your daughter isn't a liar. You are." Silence. "What are you talking about?" "I'm the father. 23andMe confirmed it 6 months ago." My mother, "That's impossible." Ben, August 2017. "Juliet and I were together December 2016. You separated us January 2017 when she was 2 months pregnant. You forced a closed adoption to hide your shame. Should I continue?" My father stood. "Even if you are the father, that child is gone." Ben, "Actually, we've been in contact with her for 6 weeks." My mother, "You've what?" He put his phone on the table. "Her name is Lily Elizabeth Walsh, Brooklyn. Wonderful people who actually love her. She knows we're her biological parents." He showed a photo from March 7th. Lily, me, and Ben, Lily holding a sign. "See you at the rehearsal dinner." My mother leaned in. "Don't let this trap you too. She abandoned her own daughter like trash. She's rotten to the core." Ben, "She didn't abandon anyone. You stole her daughter, and you're about to lose your own." My mother, "If you continue this circus, we will not attend your wedding. We will tell everyone at church what kind of woman she really is." Ben stood, pulled up his folder. "Let me show you what we have. 23andMe results. Emails with the Walsh family who tried to contact Juliet for years, but you blocked them. Therapist notes. Hospital records showing she tried to refuse the adoption. Legal timeline showing you rushed the process. Testimony from Jennifer Walsh about letters you intercepted." My father, "You've been building a case against us." Ben, "No. We've been protecting Lily from you." My mother, "If that child shows up at your wedding, we will stand up and object." I stood. "Then you won't be invited to the ceremony." "You can't uninvite your own parents. Watch me." My mother, "Fine. I'm calling the Walsh family tonight. I'll tell them you're unstable." Ben, "Go ahead. They know our story, including your role. We have documentation, and they have lawyers." My mother, "You've been planning this." Ben, "We've been protecting our daughter, something you should have done." I said, "After tonight, you're not invited to the wedding, the rehearsal dinner, or anything else. You lost the right to be my parents when you stole my daughter." We left. I said, "They're not going to let this go." Ben, "I know. That's why I invited them to the rehearsal dinner. I stared. You what? He'd sent the invitation 3 weeks ago. He wanted the confrontation public, with witnesses so they couldn't rewrite history. Rehearsal dinner, 40 guests. Both families, friends, colleagues, 5 church members. The Walshes at table 1 near the exit. My parents arrived at 6:15, late, navy dress and pearls. Caroline whispered, "They actually came. Ready? No, but let's do it." Speeches began. Ben's father talked about second chances. Then Ben stood. Most of you know Juliet and I dated in high school. We were separated by circumstances beyond our control. Family issues, miscommunication. Eyes flicked to my parents. 3 years ago, we found each other again. This time, nothing was going to keep us apart. Juliet is the strongest person I've ever known. Pause. There's someone else who wants to say hi. The door opened. Jennifer walked in, holding the hand of a little girl in a white dress with a purple sash. Lily. The room went silent. She walked to me. "Hi, I'm Lily." Then to the room. "I'm Juliet and Ben's daughter. Well, biological daughter. I have 2 moms and 2 dads. It's kinda cool." Someone asked, "You have a daughter?" Claire stood. "Yes, and it's a beautiful story. Let them tell it." Ben explained. Factual. 8 years ago, we were separated. I didn't know she was pregnant. Her family arranged a closed adoption. 23andMe brought us together. The Walshes have been generous. Jennifer. Lily is lucky to have so many people who love her. My mother stood. This is inappropriate. This child should not be here. Caroline. Excuse me, who are you? I'm Juliet's mother. The same mother who forced an 18-year-old to give up her baby? That mother? Ben's father. For who? Certainly not for Juliet or Lily. The room stared. My father tried to pull Patricia out. She shook him off, turned to Lily. You don't belong here. Lily, small, 8. Are you my grandma? No. Juliet told me I have grandparents who didn't want me to exist. Is that you? Dead silence. Juliet told me she wanted to keep me, but you wouldn't let her. Is that true? Patricia stammered. It's not that simple. Lily. It sounds pretty simple. Ruth, an elderly church member, stood. Patricia Anderson, I've known you 2 decades. I've never been more disappointed. One by one, people spoke. A colleague. Juliet is the most compassionate nurse I know. Ben's partner. This family is beautiful. Anyone who can't see that can leave. Even church members. Forcing your daughter to give up her baby? That's not what Jesus taught. Ruth. Patricia, you need to leave. This is a celebration and you're poisoning it. My mother grabbed my father's arm, stopped at the door. You'll regret this, Juliet. All of you will. Walked out. The room exhaled, then clapping, standing ovation, not for kicking them out. For Juliet's strength, Ben's loyalty, Lily's courage, the Walsh's generosity. Lily. Why are they clapping? Because we're a family. All of us? All of us. She looked at me, shy. Can I call you Mom, or is that weird because I already have a mom? I cried. You can call me whatever feels right, she thought. Okay, Mom Juliet and Mom Jennifer, like that. I held her hand for the first time without a therapist, 8 years late. But here, the party continued. Lily met Ben's parents. They cried, hugged her, gave her a teddy bear they'd saved 8 years. The next day, March 29th, 2026, Old South Church, 128 guests. Patricia and George not among them. Lily was the flower girl. She walked down the aisle ahead of me. Ben cried when he saw us. Vows included, I promise to always choose truth over comfort and love over fear. The pastor, marriage isn't just about 2 people, it's about the family you build together. Camera panned to Lily, Jennifer, Michael, Ben's parents, all smiling. Photos after, Lily between me and Ben, all holding hands. That photo sits on our mantle next to the hospital Polaroid from 8 years ago, the only other photo I had. Reception, no drama. Patricia and George disappeared. We had our first dance. Lily asked to join. 3 of us holding hands in a circle, laughing. Jennifer and Michael watched, smiling, not threatened. A week later, I sent a certified letter. I will not be in contact with you. You are not welcome in my life, my marriage, or my daughter's life. If you attempt contact, I will pursue legal options. You had 18 years to be my parents. You chose control over love. I'm choosing differently. No response. I heard they left Grace Community Church. Too many questions about the granddaughter they couldn't spin. I thought I'd feel guilty. I didn't. I felt free. Months later, we found a rhythm. Lily lives with the Walshes in Brooklyn. That's her home. But she stays with us every Wednesday for dinner and every other weekend. Family therapy, all 6 of us. It's working. Lily calls them Mom and Dad, calls us Mom Jules and Dad Ben. Everyone's okay with it. School forms list 4 emergency contacts. Birthday parties have 4 parents. Lily has a purple bedroom at our house, just like at the Walshes. She told a classmate, I have 4 parents. It's like having built-in backup. Some ask if I regret cutting off my parents. I don't. I regret the years I spent trying to earn love from people incapable of giving it. But I don't regret fighting to get my daughter back. Some families you're born into, some you build. And some, the ones worth everything, you fight like hell to reclaim. We did all 3, and we're not done.